Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and we've got one of our most in-depth videos to date today. We've got some really good stuff to go through, and a bit of a teaser hint that I have gotten from our favorite neighborhood, Rhys. And I just wanted to go through a couple of things that I've kind of been dissecting and just trying to analyze as well. But like always, guys, if you're new here, please do like, subscribe, support the content. I've got some links in the description just to help support the channel. Feel free to donate. And if you want to shout out, then you can request that as well. But without further ado, I wanted to go into Telegram first. So this is a fake economy group. Watch out for this, guys. It's got 966 members. The real one is the one with 35,000 members with this pinned message saying airdrops or scams at the top. Now I have gotten another pretty cool video from Rhys. So he dropped this one to me today. And he basically said, did you catch this interview with Dan? It's probably one of the better ones available, full of great info and a cheeky tidbit if you're paying attention. So that's pretty cool. Thanked him for the video because I am always open to anything to kind of analyze. And he just said, no worries with the way that you pay attention. I'm sure you pick up on it. And really, it's just a great explainer of the vision and what's coming, what is coming. Okay. So without further ado, I've gone through the video. I've timestamped key points, and I just want to explain some things because these do confirm some of my kind of my own thoughts even before I heard them from Dan. So this was an interview that was on nugget'snews, 136k subscribers back in March. So just last month. Yeah, it's just about a month ago. And Dan did cover quite a few key things that I have kind of been wondering. And I guess these might be the things that Rhys might be alluding to. So firstly, if I go to 4 minutes 10, I just want to share this with you guys.
That we sell are actually sculpted by the artist who created the physical model. So we're not reinterpreting it. We're getting that directly from the source, from DC. So you're really buying an authentic digital model. And the reason we wanted to go 3D was...
Okay, so the first thing is the NFTs themselves, the models, they are actually modeled and sculpted by the artists who do the physical versions. So if some of you guys remember from my video where I looked at the source code and I found a model of Captain America, some of you guys pointed out that it is actually a model that currently exists. So that is my first little bit of a kind of moment. The model that we found in the asset files, it is a current model that does actually exist. So that is something to think about. Next, what I want to cover is just in terms of overall competition. So if we go to 8 minutes 7.
But the reason being is that we spent 18 months grinding away at these licensors. In the beginning, they were like, digital what? They really had no idea what it was, but we just kept going back. Every time the app was getting better, every time we'd have one more licensor. And then it started to hit this critical mass. We'd be right up, dealing with the president level of the companies because they know digital is the next thing.
Okay, so this is something that I have been quite outspoken about. Is a lot of people keep going on about, hey, other companies can just come along and copy what VeVe's doing. What's so special about VeVe? And I told him that, if you look at when the company it first filed for their trademark back in 2018, that was 3 years ago. They've been on the NFT space since 3 years ago. People didn't even know what NFTs were 3 years ago. So that just goes to show that not only have they got the right people, they have, they've got a working product, which took them 3 years to only very recently launch, like 5 months ago. So any company, if they do try and copy what VeVe's doing, they've got to get past, the licensing issues. They've got to get past getting a product to market. VeVe is years ahead of, whoever's in second place. So, they've got a first to market advantage, which is, literally gold. Like if you look at Tesla, they had first market advantage in the electric vehicle space, and they have most of the market share. So that is something to take into consideration as well. And next, if you go to 10 minutes 17. This is something that I have spoken about in the master collection video that I filmed. So have a look at this.
Fast forward to this day and age, there's a lot more stuff that you can do with tokens now. Everything from whether it's being DeFi or whether it's staking rewards. So I am excited that in Q2 we'll be announcing some really cool extra utility beyond what the token has now to sort of reward our users.
Yeah, that's something that I've been working with a lot of projects on as well. Because as you say, back in 2017, everyone just said, "Oh, it's the currency of our platform or our."
Okay, so we know that staking is coming in some form to VeVe, and that's going to require OMI tokens and combination of your VeVe collectibles as well. So some have said that you get bonuses such as earlier access to the NFTs when they drop. You might have a 10-second head start. Some have said that you'll be able to access exclusive NFTs as well. And others have said that you could get awarded in OMI similar to traditional staking. So there's a lot of things to think about here. And next I want to touch on is if I go to 12 minutes 25.
Which the animated version. So you might have your Batman doing a special move, or we've got Monster Hunter characters coming out where we're very lucky. We've actually got the in-game asset from Monster Hunter. So the actual 3D model that you used on screen, you can now buy as a collectible. And part of that, we have the actual animation that came from that as well. So you can have it on your beautiful pedestal in your showroom, and it'll just be doing its sort of death move.
Okay, so this is another thing that had been confirmed previously is we've got a few different types of NFTs. So we have the interactive ones where, like the Ultra DeLorean where the doors can open and close. And then we're going to have animated NFTs. And in your showroom, the animation will be kind of playing. So if you look at David Yu's Instagram, he did share one to Monster Hunter ones previously. I think it's Kieran, the Ice Dragon one from Monster Hunter. So I think that is going to be really, really cool. Having animated NFTs within your showroom, so that is something to look out for. So I believe that is coming very, very soon. And then now we start to get into some really, really good stuff. So if I go here to 14 minutes,
AR in the same environment, or I could drop it in my living room, and you could drop it in your living room, and we're connected to a little multiplayer game. To really take that to the next level. So our whole kind of vision for the future is that these 3D assets are here to stay, and limited edition digital 3D assets are here to stay even longer. I mean, because they're on the blockchain, so they're not going anywhere anyway. But we really believe that the wearable devices are going to come to the fore over the next sort of few years. And when you've got these devices on, what are you seeing in the world? It's these digital assets. And yes, there'll be tons of free ones out there, but people will still want that limited edition one-of-one artwork. The same way that, I can go down the road and maybe buy a print of a Picasso, or I can buy the real one.
Yeah, so this one really stood out to me because when you think about it, we are going to have more improvements in the AR technology. We're way ahead than what we were 5 years ago. Google HoloLens, one of my colleagues, he's played around with it, and he said that where we're going with AR is just absolutely amazing. And the fact that VeVe has picked up on this and they're adopting this to me shows me that they are going to be way ahead of the competition. Their competition isn't using AR VR. If you look at, for example, NBA Top Shots, it's short video clips, but these guys, they're taking it to the next level. They are adapting this whole VR AR world, and that goes on to the next point, which is to do with Decentraland, which some of you guys have heard of. So we know that currently Ecomi, VeVe, all of this stuff, this is on GoChain, Decentraland, Ethereum. Now there is a way for them to kind of get onto Decentraland, and I'll touch on that as well.
On how to set up their ledger. We can put Ecomi stuff. We can have a little Ecomi corner in our Decentraland. So
now that was pretty cool. I don't know if this is what is coming, but having ecomi within Decentraland, that will be amazing. That is a huge step forward for the business itself. But going back to the concept of blockchain is Dan does talk a lot about interoperability and kind of having OMI on other chains. And we know that other chains that they have spoken about is Binance Smart Chain, getting onto Binance. Ethereum is one that Dan talks about a lot in this video. So definitely have a look at it. But he does confirm 100% that they are looking at other options for other chains, because at the time GoChain was the best option, but now there are other options for them. So they can actually, for example, the way that they got into Ethereum through Uniswap, they wrap the OMI, they can wrap OMI and get onto other chains as well.
Are you leaning or open to?
Yeah, well, to be honest, we haven't made any decisions yet because it's just, we really need to sit down and assess it because don't get me wrong, what we've got in place now works perfectly fine.
And what is that for people at home?
So we're on GoChain network.
So you heard it from him. He is looking at other options as well. So that is pretty cool. And I did also want to touch on scalability. I won't go too much in depth into, what's discussed, because I will link you guys to video. But these are just the points that I found useful.
Of potentially having these millions of Batman fans come in and then have the system fall over because of some, infrastructure scalability issue. Like the risk for us was just too big.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's to do with scalability. And this is what I've also been going on about. People are getting upset that, it's been 2 weeks and they haven't dropped. Well, if you think about it, the mindset that goes behind their strategic decisions, Dan definitely has a big part to play in it. And if they're not dropping something, it means that they've got something really big that's going to cause a lot of traffic. So they can't risk the app, shutting down and damaging their reputation. So they would rather spend more time building out the app to prepare for the increase in traffic. And the fact that they haven't done any drops for 2 weeks means we've got something really big coming this month. Don't know what it is, can speculate, but it has to be big if they've delayed drops for 2 weeks because of how much traffic it's going to cause the app. And this one is really big. It's something that people don't talk about, but if I go 2520 just over here,
with a plastic toy or any kind of product, they get massive flack from environmentalists and just
okay, plastic. This is huge. The fact that NFTs, they aren't, using plastic, they're not creating plastic waste. There are a few companies out there, very well-known companies, and they're looking for solutions to release collectibles or toys or, something that people, have, but without the use of plastic. And you guys can probably have a guess. You might know who I'm talking about. That would be McDonald's. Now, McDonald's is a global brand, and they've been working very hard to figure out something to give via, their Happy Meals that isn't plastic. So they've tried ebooks, they've tried codes for downloadable games on the app stores. They've tried, I think like songs and, non-plastic toys, like they giving Pokemon cards, but without the actual plastic toys. So they're looking for alternatives to plastic. Now, if you think about this, like someone at VeVe get in contact with, these big brands like McDonald's, if in your McDonald's Happy Meal, you can have a code for maybe a redeemable blind box, because I know blind boxes are coming, then that would be amazing in terms of raising awareness. I mean, everyone on the planet would know VeVe, and it would just shoot up into, I would see it being a top 5 crypto. OMI being a top 5 crypto with how much activity they're going to get on the platform. So that is something else to look into. Now, the rest of the video, they do talk a little bit more about, how premium it is, but that's pretty much what I wanted to cover from what I've picked up of, major importance. So something in here is coming, but don't know what yet. Maybe you guys can speculate on that. Now, moving on to our daily price analysis. This is pretty exciting. So if we just scroll in, and here we go. Now, what did I say yesterday? Literally, I drew this resistance here yesterday. I drew support here, and we were sat around here. Like, actually, you know what? Let's just go back to that video, because some of you guys think, I just want to show you guys that I'm not actually psychic. This is all just technical analysis and just a bit of common sense. So let me just play this video again for you guys. might touch this. I did say we were going to retest this resistance over here, but I believe we are going to have a pullback. I don't see us breaking this range until we have some significant stability in the crypto. Okay. I drew this yesterday. I said we were having a move to the upside. We're going to hit this resistance here and have a pullback. Now, what happened today? We had a push to the upside. We did hit this resistance. We had a pullback. Oh, okay. Did you guys just see that candle? This is what I was going to say is if we do break this resistance, then, look at that candle. That's going mental. Then we will retest this zone here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the hourly chart. And yeah, you can see that we touched. So we broke it and then we had a pullback and we just sat on this zone here. And then we closed. We managed to close above this resistance and we're continuing now. I drew this trend line and you guys can see perfectly. It has just been following this trend line. And that just goes to show, historical price data is there. It shows, it's just reflective of psychology. So if I copy this, and if we zoom out, the next zone of resistance, I believe, is going to be about, I zoom back in. Okay, about there. So about 0.77, let's just say 0.773. So this candle is just going to shoot up to here very, very soon, probably within the next 5 hours. And I believe here we are going to have a bit of a pullback, but I believe we will still follow this trend line. So we're going to touch here, we're going to pull back, probably touch this trend line, touch here again, and then probably break. And I think that break is probably going to be aligned with more speculation, more upcoming news, and more recovery when it comes to Bitcoin. So that is going to be exciting. So I'm going to say, if I just extend this trend line, I believe we're going to follow. And here, okay, so I think what's going to happen is we're going to continue. We're going to touch this resistance, have a pullback, follow this trend line, touch, maybe break slightly, fail to close, and then just continue straight up to the upside. Now, I believe we're going to come up to here next. So if I draw, actually, if I can grab one of these. Okay, so I believe we are heading up to around about this 0.77, 0.78, that region. Yeah, so I believe that is coming very, very soon. So hold tight, guys. Like I said, if you bought all the way down here, then well done. That's what I've been doing, because now we are ready for a continuation to the upside, it looks like. So exciting times ahead. But like always, guys, please do like, subscribe, support the content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.